What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music. And today, I've got my good friend, Josh, aka the Josh Pit, and we are talking today about Josh's upcoming Moshed Potatoes Christmas Extravaganza live at Altones, December 21st. And then, me and Josh dip into our favorite heavy bands that we really like, and we also give you guys some songs maybe to check out. So sit back, relax, enjoy this episode, and tell me what you guys think, and let's talk, man, all right? What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a Podcast, and today on my show, I've got my good friend Josh, aka the Josh Pit, in the building today. What's going on, Josh? How you doing today,
man? What's going on, Blue? Nothing much. Another crazy day before the holidays,
No, I definitely completely understand. I didn't get off work until like 6:45, and I was just like, Josh is going to be at my house soon. That's why I texted you, and I was like, where are you?
Still driving.
Exactly.
An hour and a half later.
So, man, I got to start off with my question that I start every show with is top 5 artists or top 5 records? And you can do both, or you can do, one of each or whatever.
So I'm going to start off with top 5, and it's going to be artist and record, and it's going to be Whitechapel, and the record I like by them is This Is Exiled. And I grew up on that probably in the early 2009 era, probably when it first came out, and it was my first couple songs was Possession, This Is Exiled. It was just a heavy record that one band is just like so awesome. Yeah. And then it just grew into what I have now, which is like 600 bands, 500 songs, downloads, you name it. I think number 2, it's got to be Mudvayne. Mm-hmm. And Mudvayne, it was LD50, and my mom introduced me to that probably a couple years afterwards. And to this day, I still love that record.
Wait, your mom introduced you to Mudvayne?
My mom also introduced me to Hatebreed,
Rob
Zombie. Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Sorry, I don't mean to sound appalled and shocked, but I have never heard that before. I mean, my mom introduced me to R&B music. That's about it. I've never had oh my God. I wonder, I just think about, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just think about what if me and my mom's relationship would be like if she had introduced me to some metal bands.
Well, now it's different. It's more country, and then I think 2013 era, it was like Nickelback. But, Mudvayne, it was enjoyable. And
wow.
I enjoyed it. New stuff, old stuff. I mean, they've been off the grid for a little bit, but
yeah,
it was. Let's see, number 3. There's a lot of bands. Number 3 has got to be Fit for a King right now, and they've been on a tear. And just every album is perfect in different ways. So I saw them back with my buddy Paul in 2013 or so. We were seeing Attila headline with Upon a Burning Body, I Wrestle a Bear, and The Plot and You.
Was that when Upon a Burning Body was still wearing the suits out on stage? Yes. Yes. Sick.
It was the same night they had Overkill downstairs, so it was like a Thrasher or Basher upstairs. Mm-hmm. I remember catching 2 songs, I think, because we were running late, but when we got there, we crowd surfed during, I think it was Hollow King. That song has always been around, and I hope when they come around this spring, it's going to be a good tour, because they're going on tour with Chelsea Grin, Crystal Lake, and Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. That's actually a really, really good. Yeah, that song, Warpath, the one with the holdout scream. Oh, yeah. I thought legitimately he couldn't do that, and then I saw them live, and he did that, and I was completely blown away, and he forever has my respect, because that is a hell of a vocal thing to do. I don't even think I could hold mine as long as he did his. I think it's a good minute and a half. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's insane. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's insane live. Yeah. Cool bunch of dudes. I've seen them live. I've probably seen them multiple times now. Almost in the double digits, coming up soon. But they're a good band. Check them out. If you haven't, they're going to be their headliner. You don't know when you get to see another headliner. Number 4. It's got to be Obey the Brave. And the reason I say that is because it can also be concurred to Despise Icon, because both Alex has great music with both bands. I think I saw them when they opened for South of the Border, and they were amazing live. And I see them recently, and they were amazing with Sharptooth and Downswing. And Despise Icon, they're rolling hot. They came around tour. I missed them back in the early 2000s when they first came out, but even now, they're good. So it's a tie-up between those two. And then finally, it's the Thrashers from Richmond. It's Manipulative Waste, guys. I love those guys. They're that hardcore punk that I love. The circle pitch thrashing. I saw them. First time I saw them was actually recently at the Warped Tour.
Yeah.
With all those amazing bands: Guar, Hatebreed, Fit for a King, 100th, The Acacia Strain, Terror, so on and so forth. So many bands.
That sounds pretty badass. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I like your list, man. Especially, what do you call it? I love Obey the Brave. I wasn't too huge. I mean, I enjoy Despise Icon, but I actually like Alex better in Obey the Brave. Just something about his lyrical content. And some of the music they've been able to put together, especially that first record, it just has so many. It has so many like melodic bangers to me that are they're heavy, but the music behind it is just amazing. And then the song that he sings in French, I think, is really good too.
I think every record they've done a little French song in it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And it's getting better and better. I know their new record's pretty crazy out there. It's singing, but it's got those heavy parts.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Something we're definitely not going to be talking about today.
Oh, no.
So my next question for you, Josh, is what is it about metal that speaks to Josh? Because if there's anything anybody knows about the Josh Pit, is metal is a third and fourth, possibly a sixth language for you, you know? It speaks to you in so many different ways, and I can't think of a time where I've ever been to a show and you were just standing still.
There hasn't been that many shows where I'm standing still. The music, it comes into me, and it's like a fresh breath air, and the reason for that is it's just the sounds and the vocals and the guitars, they get to me, and it just gets me moving, because like you want to have fun, and the crowd could stand still, and you're having fun because the band's having fun, and it gets the band going.
Yeah,
and I've seen it with many big bands, local bands, even your band. I mean, it got me moving because it has that heavy sound to it, and it just speaks to me in a way that moves my body halfway across the room to tackling somebody across the room.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been in a many pit with you and have almost not survived. So I mean, I think that's a really good reason. I know my last show I was talking with my friend Rich, and we were just talking about how some people don't quite understand what it is about loud and aggressive music that speaks to people. And besides just screaming vocals, for me, it is the way the band moves. It is the way, the feeling of everything happening all at once. And watching someone perform on stage, especially a band that's been doing it for a while and is really, really good, it just brings to mind, you know, seeing a band in a smaller venue before they blow up and they're playing, you know, at Mohegan Sun, or they're playing the Webster, big venues like that, where you should have seen them. Like I remember seeing Motionless in White, and there was literally 4 people in the room, but I was a huge fan, and I was living in Florida, and they were playing in Orlando. With them in a band that I never got to see, Of Machines. Yep. Which Of Machines kind of started the whole like Woe Is Me, and then Woe Is Me into Issues, and kind of all that stuff going on there. But no, I saw them with like literally 4 people, and they were like they're one of the nicest bands in the world to actually meet. They were super, super cool. But to think about, you know, what was that, 2008, 2009, those guys were playing a small venue like that, to now they're playing these big, massive places. And it's all because of that feeling they gave to people, and they continue to give to people.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about that because, think about it. They're going out on a spring tour with Beartooth and Stick to Your Guns and Limbs, and they're playing everywhere from here to Worcester and around the bout, man. And you're talking about like '08, like I remember seeing smaller local bands. I remember seeing Currents open for Hatebreed.
Yeah.
Back at the Webster, but it was the Underground. And now I can see Currents out on tour supporting or opening for like Of Mice and Men and other bands.
Yeah, I think they're coming back around with their own headlining tour, either at least a Northeast tour. It seems like
they are actually tonight. The boys are actually playing a little Christmas show.
That's
out
badass.
at the Webster, with the Boys and Boundaries and Afterlife and a few other bands that I probably can't remember right now to think my mind because I got so much going to my head and so much music. But yeah.
We'll keep it rolling. So the next thing is kind of the reason why I invited you on the podcast to talk about your show coming up December 21st. And you were bringing us metal in the form of Moshed Potatoes Christmas Extravaganza with Antibody Division, Gartlock. I apologize, gentlemen. Anarchy Inc., Feed the Beast, always a great show if you've never seen those guys. And a little Nintendo band called Turbo Power, which I was so excited because I don't think a lot of people realize that video game music is just as essential as any other kind of music. And there's a few bands. A friend of mine's was in a band called I Shot the Dunk Hut Dog. And him and the guy in Monomate, they're kind of responsible for that whole like Nintendo Core thing there for a little while.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
Oh no, but I have to definitely check it out.
No, like you don't already have enough things to listen to. So, what can people expect when it comes to this show, Josh? Talk to me, man.
This show has been a process and a half because I've been getting around to getting bands that I thought were going to be interesting to bring to the local scene in our area, as well as for Scene Productions and I guess the Josh Pitt Productions, if we want to push it that far. But Scene's been helping throw great local shows, and I want to give back to it by throwing a little show called the Moshed Pit Christmas Extravaganza. It'll have everything you want. You're going to have your rock music, your metal, your video game metal, your death metal, and you're going to have Mean Steve screaming at you on the stage. Plus, the Boys and Feed the Beast are coming back, and I could not be excited that I got to have them as part of their returning shows to come out and play in little old Jewett City, which, by the way, these guys opened for a big act we'd like to call Five Finger Death Punch, but they probably outblasted them. But hey, you know what? I'm happy to have them back. I'm happy to have the Boys in Anarchy Incorporated making their debut, as well as the video game nerdcore technology of Turbo Power making their first appearance, as well as the return of Antibody Division to the stage, and my boys in Guardlock making their first appearance. It's going to be fun.
It seems like you put together a pretty interesting and unique lineup, but you definitely focused on making sure that the music was definitely going to be good and definitely going to be flowing.
Mosh-worthy.
Exactly, mosh-worthy. You can catch Josh pitting every part of this show. The other thing, too, is you're holding it in a place that me and my wife now are holding in a very, very special regard. And I think a lot of people don't give it the credit that it deserves, but you guys are having it at Altones. What is it about Altones that makes it just feel like home? I've got so many I can't even list right now, but tell me, what is it for Josh that Altones feels like home?
Altones is the home away from home for me, and it probably started about a Christmas time ago, at least a couple years ago. We had a show booked for a Christmas little banger with some local bands, and it got moved out of, I think it was somewhere in Basra, but Altones took us in. Mm-hmm. We had a little show, a little bit of renovation, some paint, a couple Doom shows, metal shows, me